Welcome everybody, this is Heroes and Brews with Nerdy Dudes. We are your friendly neighborhood Beeroes. My name is Ty, his name is
Kevin.
Together we form
Tevin.
Sorry, I had to make a knock on myself because
we decided join forces. Our powers combined.
Tevin. But I'm making a knock on myself.
That's okay.
For being stupid. But this episode, do some nerdy news. If you've heard, Sony and Marvel can't come to an agreement. So Spider-Man's making his exit out of the MCU for now. And it's big news. Everyone has a voice on this. Social media, everyone. Like, this is like the biggest topic. It was bigger than the Amazon, and that's like our world,
No,
and everyone was talking about.
Kind of sad.
It is.
That's what we focused on.
And it's wild how much traction this took because at the end of the day, Sony needs to make money. They're gonna look like the bad guys because at the end of the day, Spider-Man's getting pulled out of the MCU, and it sucks, because as Sony's trying to make some money, and Disney owns Marvel, owns everything. I would hope they would give some leeway. They did not,
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts?
Well, I kind of have mixed thoughts because before this even went down, I was having a discussion with someone, and I had said that I rewatched Sam Raimi's trilogy, and the third one is really bad. It is. I was like, I haven't watched this in a while. Let me check it out. And I was like, wow, that was real horseshit. But there was a charm about those movies, and I know it was a completely different time. I mean, the first one came out in 2002, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So there was something for me missing from these Spider-Man films. I really loved Homecoming. I thought it was fantastic. I may have even liked it more than Far From Home. I mean, there was moments in Far From Home that were fantastic, especially the way they handle Mysterio.
Yeah.
And as much as I love seeing Spider-Man interact with everybody else, I mean, who wouldn't, as a comic fan, who wouldn't love to see that?
Yeah.
But I think that Spider-Man is strong enough to be on his own.
Yeah.
And I think when he is brought into the characters that are in the MCU, such as Captain America and Thor, he kind of takes a back seat.
Yeah, he does.
And where it's funny because it's not funny. Bankruptcy's never funny.
No.
But when Marvel was going through that and they sold the rights to Sony for Spider-Man, and it's just like, obviously Spider-Man
was a big household name.
Absolutely. And he could stand on his own, and his villains, I'd say, are up there pretty much with like Batman's Rogues Gallery.
And his animated series back in the late 90s, it was fantastic.
It was awesome.
And that whole gallery of villains was like spot on. You got Scorpion, Doc Ock, Green Goblin.
Yeah.
The list goes on, and as a child, I was 6, 7, 8 back then, 9. I love that series. That Spider-Man was one of my favorites back then. And you never heard of Captain America. You never heard of Iron Man. You would hear of Hulk, but Thor, you would have no clue who he was. And, like you said, they sold Spider-Man and X-Men. Those two both had, like, the biggest animated series back then, in my opinion, because that's what I watched when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And those other characters meant nothing. And now they're huge, right?
Yeah, I think, I knew of, when I was little, I remember I had Captain America figures and Thor figures. However, I don't think that they were as well known as some of these other characters were, so it's a business, and they want to take what they know will make money. And the first Iron Man was a huge risk, and Jon Favreau came out and said that.
Yeah.
And now, look where we're at.
Exactly.
But the thing is, so a part of me, so that was my feeling. I missed Spider-Man being on his own, and Spider-Man just watching over New York, not really worrying about anything cosmic. Like, he was like, that's his home, and he's fighting who he's fighting in his home city.
Yeah.
And then when you introduce all this kind of cosmic stuff and these huge threats that are more than just like a Green Goblin in New York City, it's like, well, where do you go from there? I did like his relationship with Tony. I thought that was great, and it was really strong and emotional. But now, spoilers, Tony's gone. And, I think the way Far From Home ended, on a cliffhanger, I'll just leave it at that. I don't know where you go from here. Now, there were so many different articles that were coming out with this whole thing, and there was something that I didn't know at first, but Marvel, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, Marvel wanted the rights to other Sony properties, such as, like, you know, their control, like, for example, Venom, and I guess Morbius they're working on now, so they wanted to have control over that.
I didn't hear about that.
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Okay. So I heard that there's so many different things. I heard, like, you know, Marvel wanted 50%.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. You know, because once that news came out, people were just throwing things out. Like, I think whoever first, you know, announced it was just so in shock and knew it would, like, cause an uproar.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you're getting views for that instantly. And especially if you're, like, a known, like, news source and you're saying Sony and Marvel can't come to a deal. You know, you don't know exactly what the truth is, but, you know, with social media nowadays, it's not about, you know, knowing the facts, it's about knowing the news.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're throwing out a newspaper back in the day, you had to know your facts.
Yeah.
Social media, you can mess it up and then edit it later and say, oh, edit, you know, this was the actual story. You just want to be the first person to announce it.
Yeah.
And, you know, there was 50-50, there was, you know, 70-30, which I think was the real deal.
Was that even true? That's what I mean. I keep hearing
I read a lot
different
of
things that might not even have been true. Or
I just don't understand. Disney, you already make a ton of money. Like, you're about to come out with this huge streaming service. Everyone's going to buy into it. You know, you'd be stupid not to. If you have kids, you know, who want to watch all the Disney movies,
sure,
you're going to buy it. You know, it's everything there for you whenever you want. Your monthly payment. If you like Marvel, you'd be stupid not to too with all the original content they're coming out with.
Mm-hmm.
Just why not just let Sony make the money that they're making off Spider-Man? And you're making all the money when he's coming to the MCU anyway, so who cares?
Exactly.
And I know, like I said, a lot of people are putting the blame on Sony, which, you know, they're the ones that are going to look like bad guys because they're taking him out. You know, that's what's happening.
Sure.
But at the same time, like we've talked about, you're a business. You have to make money. You have families to feed, you know? Sometimes you need that extra cash from those movies to, you know, support all the people that are in your company and, you know, give them nice things and good benefits. So, like, to me, I think, you know, Disney should be settling on this because, you know, you make enough money as it is.
Yeah, you know, when you look at it, it is definitely showcases a lot of greed.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, Disney owns, I think, all of the major franchises that we see in cinema today. I mean, with Star Wars and the MCU, you know, the Pixar, then there's Disney Animation and everything like that. So, you know, I think I was really hoping that Disney would kind of take a step back and realize, you know, because they still own the rights to the merchandising, and you know, as far as the money they made, I think originally they made 5% of the gross.
Yes. That's the only facts that I know is for sure.
Yeah, which
which
I think the deal was just it was a no-brainer. I mean, everybody was winning.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's the
agree.
main thing. Everybody was winning, and it's a shame the way it's turning out. And honestly, I don't even know if it's final, but the way that I keep hearing, the buzz I keep hearing is that I think he's done. I really do think that he's out of the MCU. And Tom, I know they just had D23.
Yes.
Tom Holland was there, so I'm sure Kevin Feige and everybody else was like, get ready for all these questions.
Yeah.
And I know Tom Holland kind of addressed it and assured everybody, which he handled it well.
Yeah, he's excited.
What he was supposed to say.
Yeah, and he's excited, apparently, you know, for what's to come, which he should be, you know. He likes playing the character. It's gonna be.
I think it's the best Spider-Man movie.
I agree. It's gonna be weird seeing him like change up. I don't know, like how
like what do you do? Do you just ignore everything that happened?
That's the thing. Like with him as Spider-Man, you know, how do you ignore it? I feel like if you wanted to start anew, you would need to get a different Spider-Man, a different actor.
I thought that. I'm like, okay, well then, do you reboot again? I mean,
fourth time's a charm.
It's just
the third time was the charm, but you know,
I mean, I don't. That's the thing is that the latest Spider-Man movie just hit $1 billion, I believe. Gosh, and when you think about that, think of all the movies this year that Disney's hit $1 billion. So you had, I think you had Aladdin, you had, I think, Lion King. Avengers Endgame, of course. Spider-Man: Far From Home. Then this December you have, or I'm sorry, November you have Frozen 2.
Star Wars.
You have Star Wars.
Yeah. All will hit $1 billion easily.
Oh, I'm sure.
Easily.
I'm sure. So, like, Disney's not really hurting right now.
And their streaming service, which a lot of their stuff is already done.
Mhm.
All their movies and stuff are pretty much done. Just going on content. They're gonna make, what is it, $12.99 for if you want ESPN, if you want
That's
you
right,
know,
ESPN.
if you
Oh my
want
gosh.
Discovery Channel,
Discovery Channel?
if you want Disney stuff, you want Star Wars stuff, you buy it all for $13.99 monthly. You're set,
Oh
and
my
that's
gosh.
all. That's all profit. I mean, granted, they are making original content, but people would have bought that service even if they weren't doing original content off the bat. If you have all of their content from Disney in one service, people are just gonna buy just to watch it. Like I said, people's kids would love that.
Absolutely.
You just throw it on, just playlist every Disney princess movie ever, and just hit play and let it go. Then your kid will just sit there and watch every single one.
Literally, you don't need. I mean, I think at some point physical media is gonna dwindle out.
Oh,
anyway.
it's gone. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it kind of is. I think I'm the only one that still appreciates
Yeah,
it.
I'm pushing away from it.
But I mean, think you have everything in one thing.
Yeah.
I can't think of the word.
Yeah, I used to buy all my Xbox games physical copies, but it's just easier just to stream it right off, like download it right off, my Xbox, and have it saved on the hard drive in the cloud.
Yeah.
It just sits there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I
No
know.
space taken.
So I mean, ultimately, what is your final thoughts on the whole thing? Do you think? I mean, are you sad about it? Are you
I am.
okay with it?
I would have loved to see what happens with, spoiler alert, he gets, thrown on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's sought out. Like, everyone knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. He's wanted, and would have loved to see that story continue, how they would have done it. But I guess that's also a good exit point.
But could you continue with that story? Because, like, him... Alright, you already said, spoilers. With Mysterio outing who Spider-Man's true identity
Yeah.
is, that really has nothing to do with the MCU.
No.
Right? So you probably could continue with that story. You just...
But how?
I don't-
Because if people hate him because he killed Mysterio, right?
Mhm.
He's going to be hated on the streets, and Sony's not going to want that in their film. Do you think Sony's going to want that?
I
Who
mean,
knows? I
I would
don't
think
know.
that they would be... I mean, because they kind of had a say in, Far From Home.
Yeah.
The story. So I would think, like, you could continue with that.
It's true.
I don't think I wouldn't reboot. If you really feel like the need that you have to reboot, you have to wait at least, I would say, close to 5-7 years down the road.
Yeah.
And reboot it, and I would reboot it even with like a Miles Morales. I think we were talking
Yeah,
about.
that'd be cool.
Just do something new. I mean, I don't think you can reboot it with another Peter Parker.
No.
So, I mean, it is what it is, and these things happen, unfortunately. But I'm sure we're still gonna get awesome Spider-Man movies.
Well, let us know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'd love to know your thoughts. Everyone was blowing up about this on social media. So, let us know your thoughts. We'd love to hear.
Awesome, guys.
And thanks for watching, as always.
Cheers.